And a good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, and a huge welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session. Today's session is brought to you by Kent Business School. They're going to talk to you about all things business, whether it be on campus, whether it be the opportunities to do online courses, and various different aspects to how you can apply for funding and scholarships as well. Just before we move forward, a reminder that today's session is a live session. So if you have any questions, concerns, or issues relating to anything around what is discussed, please put it in the chat facility, directly message me, or you can email myself, Gareth at postgradsolutions.com. There is an opportunity for all students watching today to win a bursary of £2,000 that's supplied by Postgrad Solutions, and there will be more information on that opportunity at the end of this presentation and after the Q&A. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Dr. Zita Stone. She's the Associate Dean Graduate Study at Kent Business School, and she'll be taking you through the next 30 to 40 minutes, and I'll see you after that. Zita, over to you.
Thank you very much, Gareth, and good afternoon or good morning, good evening to you wherever you are. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today and talk about the postgraduate courses that we offer at Kent Business School, a triple accredited business school which puts us in top 1% of business schools globally. So a little bit more about us. So we are a school which champions a sustainable tomorrow. We are committed to developing next generation of responsible leaders and entrepreneurs who make a difference in the world. And that is thanks to the training and the research that we provide to our students, but also that our faculty receive, academic excellence, the commitment to equality, diversity, respect and appreciation, and the absolute ambition to champion bold ideas. We are a diverse school, global and diverse. It is about 150 nationalities that are represented in our school, and that is for students, and over 50% of staff are from overseas to enhance the global perspectives of the educational experience for our students. So you're thinking, why should I consider Kent Business School? So I'll start with the one that is very important, if not most important, and that is the academic excellence. So we have an international reputation for quality of our research. Students will be taught by experts in their field. So if you want to look at some rankings, we are 34th globally for business administration. Globally, that's excellent achievement. And we are 50 in the top 51 to 60 in Europe on the QS Global MBA rankings. As I mentioned earlier, something to be straight away thinking about putting on your CV once you start taking our degree, that we are a triple accredited business school, and that is a card mark of excellence and a stamp of quality that you need to be demonstrating throughout your careers once you successfully go through our degrees. On the basis of this accreditation comes also the networking and the relationships that we have with corporate connections. We have strong links with global and local businesses to enhance the employability of our students. We have a dedicated centre, Aspire Centre, for those who want to champion or progress into entrepreneurial careers. And every student has an opportunity to take part in a co-curricular business startup journey. Student support, equally something we know that students are looking out for. We have a dedicated student support team to help you on our learning journey. If you are an international student coming to the UK, for some of you it may be for the first time, maybe a daunting task. We have an in-house student support team. We have this team works with the international partnerships colleagues. We also have central support mechanisms through which we can ensure that you feel settled, you feel well, and indeed our campus is often complemented on the homely feel and the support that we provide to our students. Next to the triple accreditation, that is for the school, we also have several, actually it is the majority of our postgraduate courses that are accredited by the relevant professional bodies. You can see some of them here. It's a selection of the various professional bodies that we work with. Now, campus locations, we operate our MSc provision on 2 campuses. One is the main campus in Canterbury, and then there is the Medway campus. The one in Canterbury is in the historic city of Canterbury. You may have heard about the beautiful Canterbury Cathedral, and the one in Medway is in the city of Rochester, a bit closer to London, and it's got the Rochester Cathedral very close. And all our students will be graduating in these monumental buildings, and what a place to celebrate the success of achieving a postgraduate degree. Now, you're thinking, what is the end game here? So what is it? What will I get out of the degree if I go and take my postgrad with Kent Business School? So if we were to summarize and think, okay, well, what is it that a degree will offer you and what you will be able to demonstrate and evidence and talk about and apply in your future careers? So the first one is subject excellence. So of course, whether you choose human resource management, fintech, digital marketing, analytics, all courses are designed, and for quality assurance purposes, they absolutely have to meet the subject requirements and therefore the disciplinary areas. So you will be able to demonstrate knowledge in your relevant course areas, the topics, and consider various contexts. That's number one. That's a must. Number 2, all courses, irrespective of which of our courses you go through, you'll be able to demonstrate and evidence how you've developed your global perspectives. You'll be able to evaluate your disciplinary perspective and the decisions that you'll be taking as a business analyst, as a HR consultant in a global context. And again, we live in a global environment, in a very international world of business. So having this ability to be able to consider implications for not just your local environment, but for further afield is absolutely demanded by your employers. Another one, and perhaps not surprising there, given we are a school of the sustainable tomorrow, ethics, sustainability awareness. So irrespective of which of our postgraduate degrees you will go for, you'll be able to apply ethical perspectives to make sustainable decisions in your course. And again, whether this is handling data responsibly on your business analytics degree, whether this is to make healthcare decisions that are right for the variety of stakeholders, or you will be always pushed to consider and make recommendations in your assignments around the ethicality, diversity, inclusion, and the responsibility awareness as such. Data analysis and decision making, that's a fourth one. And now, irrespective of which course you will go with, whether it is more quantitative course or qualitative course, it is absolutely imperative for us that you are made to analyze and think critically, to evaluate and solve your disciplinary problems and issues based on data-driven decision making. So again, whether you are making a decision and recommendation for a business to internationalize their offer through foreign direct investment or just stay with international trade, you will be always pushed and expected to only be making such recommendations based on credible data. The data, as I said, can be qualitative, quantitative, so it's absolutely crucial that in today's world of misinformation and a lot of things not going quite right, that we are producing graduates who are absolutely rigorous in their approach, and whatever they provide and recommend is based on factual information and based on credible data, and utilize their data analysis skills to do so. The final one, communication. Again, if you think, well, I will have all this knowledge, I will be able to communicate and consider things within global context and within the remit of ethics and sustainability. I will be able to use data, various types of data, to make credible decisions. But it is key that you don't just retain it, but as a future successful business leader, whichever specialization you go for, you are able to communicate. So there is a lot of focus on various types of communication, and that is practiced through the various assignments. So you are able to communicate through digital platforms, you are blogs and vlogs, you are able to communicate via succinct reports, you are able to communicate orally through presentations, individual group tasks. All of that is again being developed through every single course. So I find our students like this already, even students who are with us, just to understand what is the added value, right? What am I getting from the degree? Whichever degree I go for, which one is what is the 5 key points that you can tell me will get out? And I would perhaps call them the key competencies. So what are the key competencies that we promise on delivering to you once you take a Kent Business School course? Now, employability is key. Again, we are not kidding ourselves. We know that you are coming to take a postgraduate degree, and you're enhancing your educational background and the portfolio of your knowledge and skills at a higher level, postgraduate level, because you want to secure fantastic jobs, or you want to further progress your career. I can reassure you that employability is absolutely a bread and butter of our offer. There is career coaching, there is extra pre-arrival guidance for all international students to make sure that they are starting to develop the various skills that employers would be looking for them. There are mentoring opportunities, there is extracurricular professional development. You all will be participating in what is called the Postgraduate Employability Edge program, where you practice and you are speaking to former alumni, you're speaking to industry practitioners, you're practicing how to go successfully through psychometric tests, how to write successful job applications. Everything and anything that you need is explained here. Also to mention that all our postgraduate courses, all September start. We offer January and September. I'll come on to that in a moment. But all September start courses can be studied with an optional industrial placement. This would extend your master's degree to 2 years, and you can opt to take an industrial placement. Some industrial placement students choose not to progress with the industrial placement. That's absolutely fine. They would just change the offer and finish with 1 year degree. But the option and the full support for those who wish to do that is absolutely there from our side. Once more, I was already talking about the dedicated student support and well-being. With this information, I just wanted to reinforce the message, because we absolutely do think about equality, diversity and inclusion very carefully. We're a leading school in championing these areas. We are a very close-knit community. And the feedback that we've had from our alumni is a good feel home environment, very safe. Several times the campuses have received awards for safety on our campuses. It's a beautiful green campus, the Canterbury. The Medway campus is closer to London, a little bit more suburban, but both offer, of course, wonderful opportunities to students on our courses. Now, if I were to just try to think about, the various extras, what can you do to really get more out of your KBS degrees? And we will be communicating to you, we'll be encouraging you to take take up these opportunities. So you can see there a list of things. You'll be supported by an academic advisor. Alongside your degree and your courses, you'll be offered several additional workshops. It's anything from, enhancing your quantitative data skills and analysis. We'll be preparing you for how to deal with in-person tests and examinations, how to deal successfully with online tests. We will teach you how to use the various databases that you will have access to as a University of Kent students. There are open lecture series. There are employment and employability schemes, such an in-company scheme where you are able to work on a research project for your assignment, but at the same time, make that research project that is due for an assignment and you need to get a pass and you need to get a good mark. At the same time, we'll be giving you opportunities to make those and turn those into real life projects, and not only submit it as an academic piece of that you need for a module, but at the same time, really be solving a problem or providing solutions to an organizations. There are lots of university clubs to be able to join, and societies. They are very active. The Kent Union is a very active society and looks after student experience as well. Student voice is very important to us. We work closely with student reps and all students to always think together how we can enhance our offer even further. And the one, but I mentioned it already and I'll come back to it again, is the wonderful opportunity, I believe only 5 universities in the UK offer this, is to graduate in historic, at the historic Canterbury or Rochester Cathedral. That's something. Graduating and bringing your family in these 1,000-year-old buildings and more, how it echoes when your name is mentioned. I've got goosebumps already. That's something to really look forward to and celebrate the success that you will have achieved, no doubt, with your family. Now, you might be thinking what course or what direction, or I am looking at a certain course with you already. So what I will do, I'll go through the courses that we offer. I'll give you a little bit more information, but I will then leave it to the Q&A time to go into more detail for you to ask questions, and then I'll go into more detail about any specific courses that you may wish to have more information on. So the first one, and I think it's very much the question, what is it that you want out of your postgrad degree? Is it to deepen your knowledge on what you have done already, not only your knowledge, your skills, or is it a change of direction? And there are several courses that you can consider. The first one, and very popular for international students, is our MSc in International Business and Management. That's a beautiful bread and butter international business and management course. It will take you through how to manage business locally and manage, but then very quickly jump onto how you manage if your organization wants to be involved and use trade, or even be setting up their own subsidiaries via foreign direct investment. So beautiful course, gives a lot of case studies from across the world, and very popular. This course also offers a January start, so it either is offered to start in September 24 or January 25. And if you do not quite meet entry criteria, and I'll come on to those in a moment, you are able to study this with as part of the International Incorporated Masters. And that means that you take a term or two just to make sure that you top up your English language requirements, and then you would be automatically progressing onto the MSc degree. The next one I want to mention is strategic project management. Again, very popular, just because the project management skills and knowledge is applicable to so many different disciplines. It is offered on the Medway campus, and it is also offered not only as a September start, but also January start, and also is offered with an international or incorporated master's if you were just a little bit down on the English language requirements. MSc Marketing, very popular, offered in Canterbury. This is a September start course. And if you are interested in lots of different aspects of marketing, so from branding to a little bit of digital, but also consumer behavior, international marketing, the sort of cultural aspects, this is a sort of typical conversion but very exciting marketing course. Again, one of our top recruiting courses. Logistics and supply chain management course, so a little bit more niche, but how relevant. Look around you, think what's happening in the world. Organizations need to react very quickly to the challenges, the external environment, changes in trade agreements, geopolitical situation it is presenting to them, and they need to be managing their operations, warehousing, all aspects of logistics, whether you're talking about inbound or outbound. All of that and have very agile approach in doing this is so sought after. So very successful, very high graduate or postgraduate employability rate there, and a beautiful course, a little bit smaller in the number of students, I think because of its specific focus, but very well designed and popular and doing well. Business analytics, this is our largest course, I think because there's so many students who want to enhance their sort of data analysis. You will be working with Python and R, a little bit more with Python. It's moving, that's where the direction is heading. Very popular, as I mentioned, the most the busiest course in terms of student numbers. So you definitely want to have an aptitude for quant, for maths, for programming, for working with Excel and the other programming languages. Human resource management is offered in Medway. Also very popular, specific for those who want to focus on the HR function in organizations, to be learning with anything, employee resourcing, to be dealing with all aspects of the HR function, but not only as a manager, but also how to develop as a leader and develop other leaders as well. Finance and management, if you think, well, I want a little bit of finance, but I want it with management combined, I do not want to go into straightforward heavy finance course, then this is the option for you. So it's a less quantitative, more manageable if you come from a background with less quantitative skills development. So it's a nice combination. It brings you into the world of finance, but nice and gentle, and there is that strong management and development side as well. We do offer MBA, and that's why we are a triple accredited school. That AMBA accreditation, which is specifically because of our MBA course, is what we are very proud of. And you have to have a minimum 3-year managerial experience to be eligible for this course. So the other courses are MSc courses, master's courses. You do not need to have, it is an advantage, but you absolutely do not need to have a work experience. If you are progressing from undergrad to postgrad, that's absolutely fine. However, for the MBA, you have to have a minimum of 3-year managerial experience, and on average, our students have between 6 and 7 years of managerial experience already. Now, there are a few more areas, and I think you should consider those if you are looking to focus on a specialized area. So if you are already in the area of healthcare, medical studies, then continuing on to MSc Healthcare Management would be specializing and focusing on the area that you are already in. That, however, saying we do have students who want to progress and develop and understand more about healthcare management and do not have a healthcare background, it is open to those students as well. Just to note that there are lots of students who have that sort of healthcare background, and this is managers who are already just want to enhance their knowledge in the healthcare sector, doctors, dentists, nurses. It is a truly sort of diverse course from that disciplinary perspective. It's also offered as a January start and also offered with the incorporated international masters. Finance, a straightforward finance degree, a little bit more heavier on finance than the previously mentioned finance and management. Finance, investment and risk, if you want to focus on the investment and risk aspect. This is the most quantitatively demanding course, so you need to be able to demonstrate that you have got a background in maths, computing. So we have students either who have done finance and accounting, finance undergrad degrees, but also students from economics, computing, maths, even some engineers we have had who want to come and take this course. So you really have to be feeling confident that you have and you can further develop the quantitative skills. FinTech, again, one of the newer courses, but how relevant. This is a financial technology which can be applied to any aspect of finance, even to banking. And again, very nicely designed course offered in Canterbury. Digital marketing and analytics, the last course that I will mention. Now, this is slightly different than the marketing course that I mentioned earlier. This marketing course specifically has a focus on digital marketing and analytics. So it does not give you that sort of overall understanding of the marketing subject. It pushes you towards digital marketing and analytics. So you have to be ready on that focus. The analytics side is again more programming and the sort of quantitative skills focused. Very popular. It's offered on the Medway campus and doing really well. We have fantastic expertise of faculty there. So very happy the way this course is doing and the student experience on this course. Now, I want to say a little bit on how would you study. So if you started in September 24, you would first, as you can see, start your stage 1, and those are 2 terms. You would take term 1 between September and December. And here the different assessments you would take would be a combination of coursework, different reports, presentations, and in some modules you may have end of module examinations. Then we would have a winter vacation, and you come back in January for your second term. Again, depending on what course you take, you will have between 4 and 5 different modules. And again, you're going through your assessments and coursework. Then you are progressing. You are not finishing as undergrad. You're progressing into stage 2, and that is your third term, which you will take in the May to August period. And this is the capstone research project module. You will be working with your allocated supervisor and working on your research project. There is the optional industrial placement, which will only commence once you've successfully progressed through these stages. And what you have to submit there when you finish is a portfolio of evidence and placement experience report. But that is after, so that's after the second year of your studies. The placement has to be between 39 and 44 weeks long. And you would be working with our placements team to secure this. If you're thinking about January 25 start, And then the structure is exactly the same, term 1 and term 2, the number of terms you have, the number of modules you take. It's just the periods are adjusted. So your term 1 would be the January to April. Then there is Easter vacation, and you're progressing into from May to August into your second term. And then you have a little break at the end of August, and in September you are then jumping onto your research project. So whether you take the September offer or the January offer, you will be completing your master's degree in 12 months. Should you wish to consider and progress with a September start on an industrial placement, you would be then extending your degree by 2 years. I'll say straight away that if you are thinking, well, perhaps I don't know yet, considering there is a suggestion that you think I might want to do the industrial placement, apply for it. It can easily be taken off your degree if you feel, no, actually I'll just finish here with stage 1, stage 2. After all, I will not be progressing with industrial placement. The reason why I'm saying this is because of visa. Tier 4 visa students, it's much easier for you as you are applying for visa to apply for the whole 2 years rather than adding it. You may have to travel back to have your visas readjusted and approved should you want to consider adding that optional industrial placement at a later stage. Now, a little bit about the entry criteria and supporting documents. Apologies, I've just noted the font is there a little bit smaller. So what we request is a 2-2 that's how we refer to a second class degree or an international equivalent. Applicants who do not require visa for study may be considered. For them, we may consider also relevant, strong, progressive work experience if they haven't achieved that required 2-2 degree. But for all students who are coming on visa, they need to have a UK lower second class, that is 2-2, or international equivalent as a minimum. In terms of English language requirements, we require IELTS academic level 6 for all MSc degrees, the MBA slightly higher, 6.5 or equivalent, and we also accept these alternative certificates. Now, we require a reference as part of the application process. For an MSc degree, this should be an academic, should not be older than 2-3 years, so the course that you have taken prior to Kent. If you have graduated more than 3 years ago, before you start Kent, then a reference from an employer is acceptable as well. For MBA students, because you have to have the minimum 3-year managerial experience, employer's reference is expected, and it needs to be current or the most recent reference that you have. Our admissions team will advise. The references that you provide, the source must be verifiable, otherwise it will not be accepted. So please, no internet email addresses. These need to be organizational email addresses so that the references can be verified. Personal statement is another element of the application process. There is specific guidance to writing acceptable professional statement on the page here. You will receive the slides, I believe, or we can later, Gareth, perhaps post a link or into the chat. CV is a requirement for MBAs, can be also useful for MSc applications, and passport, you will automatically be asked to upload this, and you need to do so when prompted as our online application process will navigate. Other documents are not required. So a standard but application can submit any additional information, documents that you feel will genuinely further support your application. For the 2024 deposit payment, so the university's international fee deposit now replaces what we previously had as KBS deposits. The deposits will start from £2,000. However, the amount of deposit will or may vary depending on which nationality groupings you are in. Again, there is a link just to be aware of what are the nationality groupings, and deposit amounts will be again reviewed in April 2024. This is the same for all universities, but for now, just to be reassured that this is where we are. One big, we are already looking, of course, how can I bring the fees a little bit lower? Early bird discount, and I'll come on to explaining in the next slide. But the change will not affect how we operate our early bird discount on your fee. Now, a little bit on the scholarship and bursaries. I mentioned the early bird discount. That means automatically £10 discount on tuition fee. If you're looking to start with us in September 24, then you would have to apply. You would need to submit an application by end of March, 31st of March, and pay the relevant deposit by 30th of April. And then you get automatic 10% discount, and that can be also combined with further scholarships or even hardship bursary. So that's automatic as soon as you meet that deadline. If you're looking to start January 25, then you need to apply by the 10th of November and pay the deposit by 1st of December. Now, we offer various scholarships for each of our courses, and this can be up to £2,500. There is no scholarship application required. It will be assessed on a rolling basis, so we have regular reviews of the applications. Applicants must have a first-class honours degree, so that is a requirement, and it is currently available for 2024 entry, and more information will be provided for January 25 entry. On the MBA, there are some extra scholarships: leaders in sustainability, entrepreneurs in innovation, women and leadership, that can bring extra 25% of tuition fee, and you can see the deadlines for those there. There is a KBS hardship bursary up to £3,000, and you can see the deadlines for September 24. You need to apply by the 31st of May, and for January deadline, we will be communicating on our web pages where you have the information below nearer the time. As you look at our web pages, you'll be able to see the relevant fees, but I've put them here in a table for you. So as you can see, our courses are very competitive, depending the main differences between the MBA and all other courses. So the MBA is competitively priced at just under £25,000 for a triple accredited MBA. This is, or MBA that is part of a triple accredited business school. This is indeed a very competitive and high value product. The other courses, irrespective of which department they sit on, and you can see that we are structured as a business school. We operate under 4 departments. The main difference is between home and overseas fees. And you can see that the all courses in the Department of Leadership and Management, Marketing, Entrepreneurship and International Business, Analytics, Operations and Systems are priced at the same level for overseas courses and the same for home. The only one department for Accounting and Finance, we are able to offer a little bit lower rate, and that is for the overseas at £20,000. If you are considering to do the industrial placement, then as the second year, the optional industrial placement, then the price for that 1 year is significantly less. You are industrial placement, you are still being supported by us, and the fee is £1,800.50. Now, a few key dates I already want to communicate to you just to make sure that you have these. The application deadline, the very first one we are looking at for international students who are will be applying overseas fees and who are looking who need visas, is 12th of July. For home students, it is 1st of August. Now, for those, the confirmation of deposit payment for those who require CAS eligibility interview is 5th of August. For those who do not require this, a little bit longer, 28th of August. Deadline for meeting offer conditions and accepting offer is 30th of August. Very important CAS issuance deadline is 5th of September. And then we cannot wait to have you with us for a full set of induction activities for the Welcome Week. So we would expect you to be with us from 16th of September. That's week commencing 16th of September, and that's where everything starts. The week one, we induct, we have some fun activities for you, and then the term starts with your first taught modules in the week commencing 23rd of September. The final registration, when you have to have all sorted and you need to be showing as registered on our systems, is Monday, 14th of October. So we give you a couple of weeks to make sure you settle, you've got all paperwork, everything apart from anything else, apart from the deadlines I mentioned earlier. But by 14th of October, you need to have everything sorted and your status on our systems need to be as registered students. I've also posted a link for the term dates for the whole academic year. Finally, just a few get in touch information. KBS admissions is the main one for you. Our colleagues are looking to respond within 24 hours, 48 at the most. We're very proud of our quick response rate. So please contact us, email us. You can refer to these slides. And I want to thank you for your time and hand over back to Gareth for any questions.
Zita, thank you very much. I appreciate you've gone through quite a bit there. And there was quite a lot of information in terms of, step one all the way through to the end. What I do want to just go through, and apologies to all the people watching on social media, you're not able to comment on any of the videos. So I have got your questions, but Zita hasn't had a chance to see them. We'll reach out to you afterwards. Zita, I want to take you back to the start of the presentation where you talked about the end game in inverted commas. And I think that's so important because quite often now people need to have a vision. They need to think about their future. What are the next steps? How much emphasis do you put, in particular for a master's student coming to study at Kent Business School? How important is it that they have a vision and they know exactly what they want to do rather than just enhancing their education?
So we see students coming from various backgrounds, and as I mentioned, some with work experience, some not, some are already entrepreneurs, from different nationalities, different cultures. That is all amazing. And in this respect, we see students who have very clear vision. That's clear for the MBA students. They know that they want to do an MBA for a clear career progression, or they want to apply for the promotion, and it's the MBA that they need to demonstrate as part of a professional development. But we also have students who take on our courses, such as marketing or international business management, or even strategic project management, business, various courses where they come to us and they are using that 1 year to shape the vision. So they may have an idea, but with us, the module conveners, directors of studies, the employability team, the alumni network, the industry people that we bring in, that shaping of that vision is really taking proper shaping up whilst they are with us. That 1 year is filled with events, experiences, directly with us, curricular, but co-curricular and co-curricular. So I would say if you have and you know what you want to do, that's amazing and will help you to shape it. If you feel, well, I'm not sure, I'm thinking between two courses, engage, get in touch. The admissions team will even put you in touch either with myself or one of our directors of studies just to discuss it with you if you do not know which course to go for, because that vision or what career options you would even have with each course. So the 5 end game is what we are committing to. So that's what is our promise to you. Whichever course you will take on, we can promise, we have it mapped, we have it evidenced, and that's why we are a triple accredited business school. You will get those, and then you will be able to either fulfill the vision that you've come to us with, or you will realize what your vision is just because you have taken our course.
Excellent. And the next couple of questions I have kind of go hand in hand a little bit. Talk to me about the international students compared to the domestic students, because location-wise, I'm from the UK, I'm from the Southwest. It's probably easier for someone from Northern Europe to get to Kent than it is from someone in the southwest of England. So talk to me about how that makes a student's life a little bit easier logistically, because they're able to perhaps fly locally to anywhere around the world. And as a result of that, do you get more international students? Do you find that it's quite a cosmopolitan atmosphere within the courses themselves?
Absolutely. So I feel that we have the best of the two worlds. We are in the close proximity to London. From Canterbury, it's a 1-hour train to London, to all the major airports, Gatwick, Heathrow. It is an hour and a half that you can get to comfortably. The international team even offers transfers, to make sure that when students first time land in the UK, there's somebody waiting for them and brings them until they get familiarized with the environment and the campuses. And this proximity, and yet we are a campus environment, so we are not a building in the city when there is nothing else around you. You come and you have your where you live, you have your shops, your doctor's surgery, you have the library, the cinema, the gyms, everything is there. And then a walking distance to either the town of Rochester in Medway or the walking town of Canterbury. We do have fantastic representation of all nationalities. In none of our courses you would see that one nationality dominates, and that is great because you really benefit. I teach classes now where I have students from Thailand, China, India, Turkey, the USA, Germany, and those are just the few top that are on top of my here that I can see here.
And I imagine as well, there's not many universities, I think you mentioned it earlier, that get the opportunity, or students get the opportunity to graduate within a cathedral. You mentioned earlier that it's a real unique opportunity you don't get in a lot of other universities, purely because of the location and what it is. But it is wonderful. So just sticking on the international students theme then, naturally we get loads of questions around funding, scholarships, and I know you touched upon it already. Do you work with the likes of Achieving scholarships, Marshall scholarships to help students fund their studies as much as possible?
Yes, we do. I did not mention them, but I would strongly encourage students with any applicants, hopefully our future students, to email our KBS admissions team with any questions you may have. They are there and they'll be able to advise, and also whether which ones you can apply for on LISP, and which are the others that you have to choose which one you will go for, which ones are applicable or not. So yes, very much aware, and even though I did not go through everything, please just contact KBS admissions at kent.ac.uk.
Excellent. And if you can talk me through, what did Kent Business School look for on a personal statement? Because it's
Mhm.
very competitive. You know, there's a lot of universities now that offer the courses that you offer. Obviously, you've got your own unique facilities and your own unique opportunities within the courses. But what are you looking for within a personal statement from a potential student that will help them stand out? Because I think that's one thing at the moment in this post-COVID world where people are worried about what to put and
Yeah.
what not to put, about where we're going. So can you just talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. And the reason why I'm looking here is because I have opened the link. I have a second screen here, and I've opened the link that I shared during the presentation. And that says very helpfully how to write your personal statement. It's talking about the key things that need to be in no more than 200 words per question. Is how do you wish to why do you wish to study this course? Why do you wish to take the University of Kent? Why are you the right applicant? So you need to be writing it not only why you want the course, why we should want you, but also be very much stressing of how you will be enhancing, and therefore we should fight to. It should be really a two-side game there. Which modules you're specifically looking for and why, because that will very much support and ensure us that that is your genuine interest in your course. What are the career aspirations? And again, that will enable the admissions team to ascertain, or even what they will do if your career aspirations are not in line, they will offer another course and they will get in dialogue. So already the employability advice is through that, because they will say, well, you are applying for this course, however your statement seems to be more suggesting that this course would be. And indeed we do know that we have applicants who just on the basis of engaging with us really get to understand which course is the best for them. So it's very much writing it succinctly and clearly, but it has to be also from the visa perspective. It has to be very evident that it's written by you, and it's written with a full intention and genuine intention to apply for a course. Albeit we understand that you might be considering or thinking about 2 or 3, and you just need to have a discussion, and you would consider an alternative.
Again, I think that aligns very well with the end game vision that you've got. It aligns well because students will need to think about their future and think about what they want to do next. So again, goes all hand in hand, which is fantastic. A couple more questions then, Zita. I'm just conscious of time a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about how students find that application process. So many times students will apply, and I get it. That might be an admissions question perhaps, but too many times people will apply and expect a response instantly. If they're looking for a January intake in 2025 or September 24, what timelines can they look to adhere to, and how soon do they need to apply if they're looking for September?
Yes, of course. So if you're looking to apply for September, it's silly not to do it sooner rather than later, because simply by applying by the end of this month, by the end of March, and meeting the deposit deadline by the end of April, you're automatically securing yourself a 10% discount. So if you are considering and you know that that's the course, then going for that and ensuring you have 10% discount, that's key. I mentioned the deadlines for the applications for international students. It is 12th of July, and that is the final date. For home students, it's a little bit later because, of course, there is fewer checks around visas. And with international students, then you have to have through the CAS approval and also ensure that it's a little bit more stringent. So there isn't such a thing as starting too early. Engage with our admissions team. You can absolutely write to the admissions team, can I speak to the subject lead? Can I speak to an academic? Can I engage? We are all very happy to schedule a Zoom call or Teams call just to talk you through what the course is and answer any questions that you may have. Yeah, hopefully that helps, Gareth.
And I can't stress enough, anyone watching as well, it's an anxious time. International students moving to the UK. The universities want to help. And Kent aren't alone in that. The universities will want to help. So if you have any questions, any concerns, put it their way. Like Zita mentioned, have a Zoom call, have that personal touch where it could just be you and that person on the Zoom call that can potentially help you make a decision moving forward, because it could be life-changing for you. So, Zita, I want to finish up on, and there's been loads of questions coming around funding, course costs, but I think we've covered that already. One of the things we haven't really spoken about is accommodation. Where you guys are located, I can vouch for it, beautiful part of the world. But if you're a postgraduate student, quite often it can be the last thing you look at. But how accessible is accommodation within the university? And do you have a partnership with anyone that a student can work with, perhaps?
So that's a good point. I think I will add it into my future slides, because it's such a practical, right? Where am I going to live? So I can tell you that all postgraduate students have automatic option and availability to be living directly on campus. So they have their own accommodation. It's separate from the little undergrads. So they have the peace and quiet, and they are in the community of postgrad students. That's one option. And then there are various other options. You can go into student housing. The university again supports with that. That is closer to campus, but not directly on campus, or even downtown. You are right that there are partnerships that the towns have with the local councils, and there is student-specific accommodation. And then on top of that, you have the private market, where of course you can secure an accommodation through that. So if you go on our webpage and look for accommodation, I know it's accessible and easy to find out. I think for international students, I would very much just stress again the support that there is. There is an international partnerships and international team who are literally there to be on call and supporting, and they understand all the, how do I register for a doctor? How do I register and get a bank account? All of this, even as I mentioned, literally picking you up from the airport and making sure that the first journey is nice and smooth. So no question too silly, no problem that we cannot resolve or find an answer for.
Yeah, and it's all those small little details that people forget are so important when you come to the UK. Well, for any foreign student going to any country that they've never been to before, bank accounts, where they're going to live, where to eat, where to drink,
Absolutely.
where to go out for a night out and stuff like that. This is all important. These are young people potentially we're talking about. So, and it's a big life change for them. So, Zita, thank you for your time. I really appreciate that. It's been a fantastic session. I hope to see you again, potentially towards the end of the year, next year, and we can talk through more about Kent Business School, but it's been fantastic. Reminder, anyone watching today, it's a live session. We will get back to you with any questions. Zita will have all your details for a follow-up potentially next week or the week after. And if you have any concerns, email myself, Gareth at postgradsolutions.com. Just before we do go, a reminder about our £2,000 bursary that Postgrad Solutions are offering. It's available for any student around the world, full-time, part-time. So if you are interested in coming to the UK or any course around the world, please head over to postgrad.com and apply. We will send you more information as a follow-up in the coming days. But for now, Zita, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again. And if anyone has any questions, my details are on the screen now. Thank you.